Welcome everybody to the Finn and Brummy podcast. My name's Adam, joined again by Vegard. How you doing, Vegard?
I'm good. How are you?
Very, very good. Lots to catch up on.
Yeah,
Lots of things happened this summer. The most transfers, I think, in the Premier League this summer since, I want to say 2019. I should know that fact before I say that.
it's not that long ago, to be
No,
fair.
it's not that long ago. But it's been the busiest summer.
It has.
Already we surpassed
And we're not done yet.
records. No. Well, the big ones are done. I think Man United is still moving big.
The
Now
big
Newcastle
ones.
are moving big.
Define big.
Uh, well, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal have made their moves.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
But now, we wanted to do it before actually do the sort of our Premier League prediction. We're a little bit late doing it now, so we've actually had a bit more data to go off.
Yeah, maybe we'll be more
first
correct.
3 games. Yeah. Like, to be honest, after the first 3 games, I'm trying to think, like, would my predictions change a lot? I'd probably say yes. I wouldn't have expected Liverpool to be so bad, even though I've seen they had a bad pre-season. I wouldn't have expected Chelsea as well to look still very shaky. They had like an okay performance against Tottenham. And then probably Fulham. I might have had them going down beforehand, but now seeing a couple of their performances, I actually don't think that's the case anymore. But we can actually get into it if you want, and we can go through each of the teams,
Yeah, definitely.
discuss their business, and we can have a good prediction of where we're going to finish now with some more data.
Yeah.
Of course, transfer window's not finished yet, so more things can happen, which could sway this, but I think it should be good to go.
Yeah, I think it's dangerous to get carried away by 3 games as well. There's a lot of new players.
No, you can't tell that to an Arsenal fan.
That's exactly why I'm saying it. You shouldn't get too carried away.
So, let's actually start with Leeds first.
Okay.
They've had a very interesting start to the season. They lost Rafinha, of course, lost Phillips,
Yeah.
2 huge names. However, I actually think they're looking quite decent so far. 3 games in. The team with Justin March is looking much more settled, so I don't think they'll go down. I think they're going to scrape, just miss out.
Yeah, I think.
Relegation scrape, I would say.
Yeah, I think it will be a bit like last season. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not that far down at the worst, but they've got players that Jesse Marsh knows. From where was it? Salzburg he was. 2 Americans should fit him perfectly. And yeah, not any massive deals, not those £50 million plus deals, but got what they needed, I think. Lost Rafinha, of course, but
Yeah,
Calvin Phillips.
Looking at their deals now, really, in terms of notable names, at least from what I'm aware of, Sinisterra could be quite a decent signing, but let's see how he turns out from Feyenoord. And he also got Aronson from Salzburg. They're the big transfers. He's got Tyler Adams as well. But in terms of direct replacements, Tyler Adams for Phillips and I guess Sinisterra for Rafinha in
Yeah,
terms of
I think so.
placing those goals and assists. I still think it's going to be enough to keep them in. However, I think more than likely the following season it's going to be hard for them to keep it up now. It's looking already quite thin. I don't think that long term they have the system that's going to keep them in the Premier League. Scraping relegation again after having such an amazing season their first season. Then last season was horrendous, losing Bielsa. Having a full season now, the new manager, they might settle down a bit. But I think if they're going to sell their biggest players every summer, it's going to be a recipe for disaster long term.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's he's Jesse Marsh. There's something odd about him. There's I don't know. It's a bit Ted. Have you watched Ted Lasso?
Yeah, I have, yes.
Yeah, it's a bit Ted Lasso. It's a bit motivation first, and maybe not the most tactically astute, but they needed something else from Bielsa after Bielsa, I think,
Look,
and he definitely is.
Exactly, and it could be that they go back to that sort of their ways of really outworking teams. Like that performance against Chelsea that they had recently
Yeah.
was phenomenal. I was watching that match. Even though Chelsea had quite a bit of the ball, they were just so much more efficient with the ball.
They
much
were,
more
yeah.
determined to win the second balls. And they, yeah, that Chelsea are another story altogether on what's happened over there. But I think they definitely took advantage
Yeah.
of Chelsea not really being up to scratch at this point of the season. So I do think they'll stay in this season. I don't think it'll be comfortable. I think getting towards April time, there's going to be a lot of question marks if they are going to make it still. But
Yeah, and the newly promoted teams have been doing well as well, which is probably, yeah, it's gonna make it harder for them. But it's a long season. Yeah, they've got a bit more depth to their squad, which I think will help them. But yeah, 15th, 16th, something like that. I think sounds the most, logical in my view.
well, should we look at somebody else that's potentially going to be fighting with them at the bottom of the relegation?
Yeah.
So maybe we move on to Nottingham Forest. They spent a lot this summer. I believe the most now
Yeah,
in the Premier League.
Spent more than the rest of Europe.
It's insane.
They've signed how many players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 players.
Yeah, it's insane.
148 million euros.
And actually, I'm going to have them to go down.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. I don't... First of all, signing that many players in any season, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good your team is, it's going to have... it doesn't necessarily mean having a positive effect on the team. It's going to take quite a bit of time for all these players to come together,
Yeah.
to really start gelling, understanding how to play. Like, I've even been watching sort of Lingard in his first few games, and I don't think it's going to be an easy transition for him to going into Nottingham Forest. So I think they're going to struggle, to be honest. I think early parts of the season, the fans are going to be up for it. Of course, they have a great history, so especially their home games are going to do very well. But I think once that's faded a little bit, I think they're going to really struggle.
Yeah, I think they're... personally, I think 2 of the newly promoted teams will go down, and I think... Nottingham is probably one of them. Let's see if they survive with that wage bill they'll have when they go down and paying 30 million pounds for it. No, how much did they pay for Morgan Gibbs White? It was more than that.
40, it could work out to 45, but I imagine that's if they stay in the league.
Yeah.
But it's 30 million starting.
Still insane.
And I don't know. Like,
he hasn't played barely any Premiership football.
No, he hasn't. I don't know what this will turn out to for them if they was to get relegated after spending this much money. That would be horrendous.
Well,
like,
they have the parachute payment, so they have to go up pretty much immediately. So they'll probably be fine for a year or 2, but then it's gonna be tough. They haven't really. Well, to be fair, last year they lost most of their starting 11 from last year because they had everyone on loan. When they got promoted, they have a good manager. He did work miracles when he came there. I think they were in the relegation zone when he took over, and just surged through the table and managed to return. How many years since they were in Brummy? Last 20 years, something like that.
Before I was watching.
Yeah. Before you were almost not before you were born, but
No,
almost. Almost. Yeah. They have one thing they've done. They've got players with. Some players with quite a bit of experience, Remo Freuler, and who did they get? Koyate from Palace,
Niakate as well.
Yeah.
Really quite decent.
Lingard has spent many years on the bench. He knows how that works.
Yeah,
a good goal. Good goal. I think Dean Henderson. I think is a good signing.
Yeah. No, I think they've got a good championship team.
Yeah, it's a very good championship team. I think
they're almost like Norwich level, Fulham level, where you might see them come up and go down.
Yeah, it feels a bit like Fulham, what they've done over the past few years. But I don't think they'll go down easily. They won't be like they won't be thrown around by all teams. And
Do you think they could stay up? Where would you place them then?
I think they could stay. I think they would finish. If I had to put them in a place, it would be 18th. So I think that would be the last. So the last team to go down.
Yeah.
Because I think they're stronger than Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think Leicester could go down for me. So there's
Leicester.
they haven't bought a player. They might lose 2 more before the window's over.
We can go to Leicester if you want.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, definitely.
So as you touched on it, I think that as of this moment they made 1 free transfer. Honestly.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Backup goalkeeper.
Alex Smithies.
Yeah. Sounds like a fake name.
And they lost Michael.
Yeah, they did.
It's a big blow for them in terms of leadership, at least.
Yeah.
Rumours still around Madison, still around Tielemans.
Fofana.
Yeah, and Fofana as well to Chelsea.
If they lose all those 3, they're going down.
I don't think they're going down. It's close though.
Yeah, it is. It's tough down there.
I think all we can do is base it on, well, let's say the likelihood, right, is Fofana goes.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think that's going to be a lot. I think Tielemans could stay for another year.
Yeah.
And I think we could see Madison as well for another year.
Yeah.
But I do think Fofana, if they can get 80+ million for him,
yeah,
I think they'll consider that quite a successful window in terms of selling players,
yeah.
not necessarily bringing in players. They
No,
might
exactly.
allow them to bring in a couple of big names.
Yeah, but they don't have much time. It's a week left of the window.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I would actually probably put Leicester mid-table. I think between 11th and 14th. I can't see them dropping that much unless they lose all those players.
Yeah, it is. That's the question. Do they keep those? Now they have the next 3 games are, what was it? Only top teams. Chelsea, United, and then Brighton away. So I think if they don't win any of those, do you fire Brendan Rodgers? Because it's not really his fault if they lose those players as well. He hasn't been given much.
No, it's true. And Rodgers is not a bad manager. I do expect him to be able to get some good results here and there. I don't think it's going to go like what happened to Everton last season. I just can't imagine it happening that way. I could be wrong, of course.
Yeah, but losing at home to Southampton, it's they were out. Yeah, they almost didn't create anything against Southampton as well.
Yeah,
which is the more worrying thing than just losing. If they had been better than them at home, that's one of the teams you have to beat to stay up, I think. So I don't. Yeah, there's a lot of aging players as well. They got rid of Schmeichel, but Vardy just signed a new contract. He's how old now? He's even older than me. Yeah, he's 30. Yeah, he's 35. Okay.
35.
Yeah.
35 so.
Johnny Evans. It's like.
No, they've got a very old squad.
They do.
Yeah. So what are we saying? You think mid-table?
Lower. I think lower mid-table. I think that bunch of teams that just stay up. I think.
That's the thing, right? They could be in 18th position, 17th position for April, and then get a couple of wins, and they end up 14th. It's like Newcastle last season, right?
Yeah.
So.
But definitely not. I don't think they'll finish in the top half at least. I think they'll be. Yeah. What did they finish last year? What was it? 8th?
Yeah,
8th, I think.
No, they weren't even that high.
No, they were 8th. Yeah, 8th. Yeah.
Was that 8th?
Yeah. So they definitely won't be that high this year. But to be fair, from 8th last year to 14th is 7 points. So it doesn't take much to suddenly get caught up in the fight against relegation. So
let's place them in mid-table for now, and then we can shuffle it about a bit later. So
I take no responsibility for that.
Well, you think that they could potentially be lower?
Yeah, I think as I say.
Okay, I'm happy to.
17th to what is it? Yeah.
You think relegation scrap? All right, I think it's a big call.
It might not be a relegation scrap, but it might be. Yeah, it could be comfortable still, but it's. I think so.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm happy to consider that one because I do think it's going to be like not a good season for them.
Yeah.
That potentially 14th. If we think it ends up 15th,
Yeah.
it's pretty close. I mentioned Everton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you want to start with Everton?
I don't know what to say about Everton. I think they lost their best player by far. Having Anthony Gordon's not a replacement for Richarlison. It's not the same level. Even though he might be going for more than Richarlison is went for. So yeah, got Tarkovsky in, bit solid defensive signing. Dwight McNeil's good, but yeah, I think they're down there with Leicester. Maybe I don't really know who will go down because I have one team I think will go down, and then it will be tight between the rest down there. So yeah, above. So yeah, pretty much like Leicester, I think. I don't believe in Frank Lampard as a manager either. So I don't.
I was just working with this tier list, and I realised Everton weren't on the tier list.
Oh, they're that bad. They even removed them from it.
They already took them out.
Yeah.
Already took them out.
Yeah.
Let me just open up a different one very quickly.
Yeah.
And I'll capture this one.
Are they there, or have they been removed?
No. I found another one. But you can still follow them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I think not much improvement. Connor Codian. Yeah.
No, that could be decent. That could be decent for them.
Yeah, but they need something going forward. It's not good enough having replaced Richarlison. It's not. Dwight McNeil's okay, but yeah, haven't started the season well. Feels like last season.
If as well, if they manage to get 60+ million for Gordon though.
Yeah,
pretty good business.
Yeah, but
that'll be almost 120 million for Richarlison and.
Yeah.
That's
more
good.
than that as well.
I think the biggest factor here, right, is Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
If you was to be ranking Premier League managers instead of actually ranking the teams, he would be bottom of that for me.
Oh yeah.
And I think for that reason, I think they have to be. I almost have them going down, to be honest.
Okay.
It's very close for me. They've been poor.
Yeah, they've been very poor.
Like for so long now, and at some point, right, it's going to catch up with them. If they lose Gordon, who's the only player really running for them going forward now, it's like, what are they left with?
Yeah, who do they have left up front? It's
unless they buy players, right? Of course, that can.
Yeah, they can, but they have Solomon Rondon, right? That's their striker that's left.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no one else.
I'm gonna place them.
Calvert-Lewin, of course, but yeah.
Right now, they're on the edge for me, so I've got them in 17th.
Yeah.
I think that they could very much be going down here. So right now I have the order as Forest is the only team going down.
Okay.
Everton in the 17th position. In front of them Leeds and Leicester.
Yeah.
I do want to go through all of the teams that we think are going to be relegated.
Okay.
In their prediction.
Then let's move to Bournemouth. I think.
Yeah. For me, that
they're the most likely to go down for me.
Yeah, I don't think we're not exactly rocket scientists. I think it could surprise everyone, right? But the odds are right now is that they go down. Even the wins that they've, let's just say wins, but I mean the results that they got so far this season, it's been.
And they haven't signed really anyone of note. Senesi's quite good, but that's one centre back, and they've. Other than that, not much. Marcus Tavernier is not. Yeah. Joe Rothwell.
No, they are a championship side, right? They're the most championship sides out of any of the teams
I think so.
The league.
Yeah.
And there's no offence to the Championship. It's just
Yeah. I can't see a world where they stay up. I just
no,
I don't like. I'm not a big fan of the club. It's tiny stadium.
no, yeah.
Quite like Scott Parker though, but
Yeah, he's okay. It's
yeah.
okay. Like, but to be honest, after watching their last game against Arsenal,
Yeah.
it was like a home game at their stadium.
Yeah.
It was. I haven't seen an away game like that for such a long time. Well, maybe when Man City play,
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
It looks like that sometimes. But this one was ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
the crowd were dead from not from the first minute. Of course, when the game starts, they're allowed. But then the first goal goes in after
5 minutes.
yeah. Then it's just silence for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
And then it was so comfortable. So yeah, I think they go down quite easy. I think with almost the most comfortably agreed. But who goes down with them?
Yeah, that's the question. It's so hard to place because I think there's a bunch of teams that are just above there. You got Forest, Fulham, Everton, Leeds, maybe even Aston Villa. Haven't looked too good so far. Wolves they made some signings now, which could save them. West Ham. I don't think West Ham will be down there when the season is over, but still, that lower half of the table is it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a significant gap between 6, 7, and then down, depending on
Well, I'm actually gonna. Okay, so the next team I'm going to speak about is Southampton then. But I'm not going to have them going down. I think I'm going to put Everton to go down, and then I'm going to have them just scrape it.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I think Southampton scrape it. They're very close as well. If you was to ask me right now if they played tomorrow, I'm going to bet on Southampton to win between Southampton and Everton.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to say that. I know that's not how the course of the 38 game season is going to work. But if you ask me which team is better right now,
well, Southampton haven't lost anyone from last season. They haven't really.
Exactly. Yeah.
They've got all the players they've bought have been young guys, which is the way they do it. So I don't think. No, I don't. I think they're about where they were last year. Quite a lot of young players as well. A lot that are like that are typically underperforming in other clubs. Dropped like Adam Armstrong drops down to the Championship as well. There comes back to the Premier League. So they got I think they'll stay up. But it's gonna as I said, I think it's gonna be a tough fight behind the top teams, and no worse than last year. So I don't think the Premier League is harder this year than last year. On average.
No, I think it's more open, if anything, to be honest, this year. We need 2 more teams in the 13th to 17th column. I think here is where we have to bring in Steven Gerrard and Aston Villa.
Yeah, I think so too.
They've got a great squad, but
they do.
My God, they are. Like, I don't think they're as. I think they finish above Leeds and behind Leicester.
I'm just so happy you haven't said United yet.
We're coming.
No, but they also have the same. They have quite an old squad, right? So
yeah. Diego Carlos just did his he did his knee, so he's going to be out for a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that I don't also think Gerrard's having a terrible time, so he's going to really struggle. To turn this around. If he does, like, fair play to him. But I think that he could be one of the managers sacked quite early in this season. I think him and Lampard, both of them will be on the chopping block sooner rather than later.
Yeah, because if Bournemouth don't do too well, they probably won't sack their manager as quickly because the expectations aren't as high. But for Villa, yeah, yeah, old squad, bringing in, yeah, who have they brought in? Yeah, I mean, Coutinho permanent. He won't get any better. He's still good, but he won't get any better. Yeah. Danny Ings. Yeah. He's a decent striker, but.
No, exactly. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily the names that they have in their squad. I just think that as a team and tactics that they have in place right now.
Yeah.
I think if you had a new, let's say if they sacked Gerrard by game 5.
Yeah.
And they have a more established manager come in, I think they probably get comfortably.
Yeah, they bring Solskjaer in, and they will.
Yeah, well,
they will.
I rate him more than Jordan Lampard at the moment. So.
Oh wow, yeah. That's not bad.
So now what's interesting is I'm looking at sort of the teams remaining. Who would sort of be at the bottom in those sort of 5 just to miss out on relegation? Probably.
So we're talking. What places are we talking now?
13th, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe Brentford.
Palace, Brentford.
Actually, it probably has to be Fulham, right? 13th.
Yeah, Fulham. Yeah, Fulham. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't think they'll finish higher than 13th, but that would be great for them.
Yeah, I think that's still a good. I think they.
Oh yeah.
They'll still be very happy with that.
They'd take that if you told them now, but they've also spent a lot of money, well, quite a bit of money. Not as much as Forest, but I think Palhinha is meant to be really good. I haven't seen too much of him yet. Pereira.
I think also will be Mitrovic as well. Like even though this is always just like I do think that.
Hasn't he already scored as many as he did last time they were up?
Yeah. So, I reckon people rave about Ivan Toney. I reckon he scores more than Toney this season.
Yeah, I think Fulham now, the system now fits him. He doesn't have much pace, but he's in the box. He's a beast. So if they can play to strength, then yeah. They have Pereira back behind him as well, which is a decent playmaker. I think I believe they're the best of the promoted teams, so I think they will stay up. They need to stop their going up and down. It's been so many times now.
Exactly. So now we're getting on to sort of the real mid-table position here, sort of.
Yeah, that's
top half, bottom half.
So I think
table.
in that area there's a bunch of teams. We haven't mentioned West Ham.
So
Wolves.
I actually think the first name, is probably Brentford.
Yeah.
I think that they could surprise me, and I think they could probably get a little bit higher, but also they could be 17th.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they're going to be.
Yeah, but that's my point exactly. There's not much gap in quality between 8th, 9th, and all the way down to relegation. There's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do it like this. So we need 4 spots for 8th to 12th. Let's go through them very quickly. I think also Brighton.
I think they're a notch above that, but not.
You reckon they could be as high as 7th?
So what are the places now? It's 8th to.
We're doing 8th to 12th.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but as I said, behind the top teams, I think they could grab 7th. But yeah, they're not favorites for it.
No.
I think Brentford, Palace, and Brighton would be my first 3 that come to mind.
I think with Palace,
we haven't mentioned Wolves either.
No, and
if
they lose Pedro Neto, if they lose, let's say, another big name, they could be in trouble. I think what we just mentioned is. I think we need 5 teams here, right? So West Ham.
I go Wolves, West Ham, Brentford, Palace, and Brighton.
Wolves, Brentford, West Ham.
Because I
And
think
Brighton is the highest finishing team.
because I think Newcastle are. I don't really know yet, but Eddie Howe's got them playing quite well. I think they're a notch above, but
I would probably say that Palace are the closest of all those teams.
yeah,
From
they
what I see, and Vieira's doing a very good job so far.
He is,
I
yeah.
probably would say that he would be the closest to pipping that 7th spot to Newcastle.
yeah, I don't disagree. He's doing a good job.
That would be my sort of bold shout that they could really surprise a few teams. So I'm happy with this order as well. I do think that we would see West Ham drop off a bit this season.
Yeah.
Because of it's sort of what the start of the season, this season, and keeping up this run that they've had. It's just that can't
Exactly.
last forever. So I do think that now we'll start to see a bit of a drop off now.
Yeah.
So,
They finally got a left back yesterday though.
Yeah.
Looking for one for a while.
Yeah, that's true. So now that we're not going to highlight all of the teams in the sort of between 8th and 12th position, but that now leads us into the top 7.
Yeah.
Now the question is, are Newcastle 7th or are Manchester United?
Yeah. I'd like to say Tottenham, but I can't do that. I don't think Newcastle will get top 4 yet. So it's 5th, 6th, or 7th. So I think Newcastle they're improving quite a bit on last year, but I would say 7th if I had if that was my pick.
Yeah.
I think so.
No, I'm. So these are like, can they go the whole season playing this way? Like since January, right? They've been like one of the best performing teams in the league.
Yeah.
So just based on that run that they've had now, and Man United sort of having the opposite kind of run, it could happen where they finish up on Man United. I do think though that like now they have Isaac as well.
Yeah, exactly. They have a striker now. They don't have to rely on Chris Wood.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
So it's such a massive difference. Callum Wilson's okay, but I think Isaac is a step above. But to be fair, he doesn't score that much either. He had 8 goals last year in La Liga.
Yeah.
It's not,
he was injured.
it was, but it was in 30 games or so. So it's not.
Yeah.
But he's young. But the Premier League is a lot more physical. So we'll see if he can stand up to that. But 70 million is a for anyone else it would be a gamble, but for Newcastle they don't care. But they will get financial fair play problems if they have to do this again next year. So they need to get to Europe at least.
Which I think they will. They'll get into Europe in some kind.
So
7th gets to the conference, right?
Yeah, depending on who wins the FA Cup and stuff like that.
And to be honest, if they get in the conference, I guess it does depend on that.
Yeah.
Right? But if they even just get into the conference, I could imagine them going on quite a bit of a run in that one.
Yeah,
like with Roma won it last year, and it would be sort of fitting, like a team like Newcastle. Have a good run in that European competition, so it could be interesting.
Yeah, it could be definitely. I think they're a good side. I think 7th is. I think they would be happy with 7th. Where were they last year? What was it? Let's see. The other were 11th.
Yeah, they jumped up. Yeah, at the end it was relegation battle for the whole of it, and then they went flying.
Yeah, I think 7th is fair.
So now my sort of thinking, the next 2 positions could go either way for me. Yeah. It's definitely Manchester United, or it's Chelsea.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what Chelsea can get together. They haven't been good so far.
Yeah, but I don't even think they could bring in Neymar tomorrow. Would not change my prediction.
Well, Neymar plays 10 games a season and goes off to Brazil to visit his sister. So that's
that's true. But I think that I think Chelsea have big problems.
Yeah, they do.
If anyone thinks that new owners can just come in and it can just change a club that quickly, change
Yeah.
the culture that quickly. Doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
And now you've got this Todd Bowley, right? Comes in, thinks he's playing Football Manager,
Yeah.
thinks he can just run a club.
Not very
And
well.
people think that they're going to do well. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
This is going to be a bit of a wake-up call for Chelsea, I believe. Look, they could even do worse than this, right? I think that they could be 8th even. If you have other teams like Palace pushing up a bit higher, I think they're going to have real problems. Look at the signings. Like, I think really, if you're talking about really decent players in their team, if I was being honest, like who are proper world-class players, I'd go Reece James, right? Kante, when he's fit. I think Mount can be decent on his day, and then Sterling. That's it though.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
Maybe Kovacic. I think he can be quite good in this game as well. Kovacic.
I quite like the only signing I really like from this is Koulibaly. He can be properly good as well. But it takes time to adapt to the Premier League as well. So yeah, not convinced
They look good against Tottenham, but at the same time, I think Tottenham look bad. I don't think Chelsea will. They weren't
exactly
impressing me with like, oh wow, that Tuchel's gotten really playing. I think Tuchel as a manager is one of the most overrated. Like, I'm going to really sound like a Chelsea hater. But Tuchel, okay, he won the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
So did Roberto Di Matteo. That does not mean he gets like.
Didn't Avram Grant win the Champions League as well?
No, he didn't
No,
win
he didn't.
Chelsea. No.
No,
That was
no.
Di Matteo.
Yeah.
But yeah, that doesn't mean that he's a good manager. He came in, he took a Lampard squad over, right?
Yeah.
And he was in a cup tournament, right, which was already 2/3 of the way there. So he just needed to get into that last few games. Of course, they're the hardest ones, but he managed.
Yeah.
Look what he's done with his resources. Lukaku come in, right?
Yeah.
£100 million. Everyone goes, oh, well, it wasn't Lukaku signing. Hang on, doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You sign a player, right, 100 million,
Yeah.
and then the coach then afterwards goes, I didn't want him.
No.
And then decides to not only not utilise him to his full potential, but also create this huge rift within inside the club.
Yeah.
And then where you have to sell that asset the season after, not even sell it, sorry,
Loan it.
loan him, right, lose all this money, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, well, it's Lukaku's fault. So, but if you're a manager, right, you need to make sacrifices. I'm not saying you should have just bowed down and said, Lukaku, please stay with me.
Yeah.
But you can't be saying stuff like, "Oh, who's your daddy?" to Lukaku. All of this stuff. I think Tuchel with the new owners, I think he gets sacked. I reckon by December time he gets sacked, and then there'll be a bit of a transition period again. That's the Chelsea way of doing things.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to
new culture now, though. New culture.
Well, to be fair,
Jesse Marsch comes in and
they're definitely Chelsea people that brought the club, because the way they're running it as well is very Chelsea.
yeah, it is. Lukaku leaves. He starts brilliant at Inter as well.
Werner scored on his debut as well.
Yeah.
RB Leipzig. So, yeah, I think that they're in trouble. I'm actually going to put in, the more I talk about it, I actually think that they're the team that's going to be in 6th position.
Okay.
And I do think, and this is to do with maybe the performance we saw against Liverpool with Man United.
Yeah.
I do think that they will finish ahead of them. I don't think they're going to be able to do this every match, but I do think now he's made those, at Man United, Ten Hag's made those decisions with Martinez and Varane, with Casemiro coming in, and then also with dropping Ronaldo. I don't think that will be every match, but I think now he's made the decision. It's not as predictable, the team is.
No, that's true.
And I think that's what the problem was before with Man United. It became so predictable where you could always expect, you would see Shaw, you would see Maguire, you would see Fred, you would see McTominay, and then if Ronaldo, of course, in the team, you're seeing Ronaldo, you're not going to press from the front. Teams can build game plans around you so easy. But now, you had a bit of intensity in the team, right? They ran more than Liverpool by far when they played them.
Yeah.
And they will, I reckon, against the big teams, that they will actually get up for it.
Yeah, so it is a bit like it was under Solskjaer then. So it's you play well against the big teams and you drop points against the Brentfords, right?
Yeah.
The Brentford match was a good example because they were insistent on playing out from the back even though it didn't work, and just can't do that with the goalkeeper. He's not good enough with his feet. He's a great shot stopper, but he's not good enough with his feet.
No, exactly.
So you need to decide, dude, you can't drop De Gea for Henderson. Henderson's not there anymore. But you couldn't drop a player earning, I don't know how much he earns a week. It's insane amounts of money.
Yeah, it's like 350 or 300.
Could have sold him years ago. Henderson could have been first choice now, but
yeah,
it is what it is. You can't have a goalkeeper like that playing out from the back like that, trying to play around at the back. I don't think that works.
Look, I think long term, right? Ten Hag is going to take some adjusting.
Yeah,
to the
of course.
I think already you've seen it, like what you mentioned. It's a bit like what it was with Ollie.
Yeah.
He got a result against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Playing the way Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played.
Yeah.
Right. If you gave him the players, if you gave him, let's say, Martinez, let's say Casemiro's in the team, I think you see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer playing the exact same way on the counter attack, moving the ball quick. You'd probably say they were more aggressive, which was good that he's bringing it in, but that's not the way Ten Hag likes to play. We know that.
No, exactly. And you can't play like that against everyone because some teams will not be. You can't counterattack on everyone. So
but at some point, and I'm saying this because I know this from Arteta, we played this counter-attack way when we won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
We had Aubameyang on the left, and he scored all the goals for us playing on the left. We played counter-attack football and it worked for us. However, then the season that started afterwards, if you remember it right, we were relegation form.
Yeah.
We were one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
Right? Because Arteta decided to go 4 at the back. He wanted to play his 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Right? He was going to play out the back. And then in that period, right, everyone was calling for Arteta to be sacked.
Yeah.
The exact same thing is going to happen at Man United. There's going to be a period where Ten Hag insists on playing his way. He probably feels like Moy has a squad now and they've got to learn how to play it. And that might go through a big run of games where it's just not clicking.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Then the question is, will Man United pull the trigger on him where Arsenal didn't? So Arsenal didn't sack Arteta and they stuck by him, which is now in hindsight a great move.
Yeah.
But will the pressure of the Man United fans and the pressure and the board and the people that are in charge of Man United, will they pull the trigger? Because I have a feeling that they will. And then
I don't think they've been. So if you look at, Solskjaer's a different case because he's a club legend, right? But he was given quite a bit of time, relatively to what he performed near the end. So they also didn't have a replacement ready.
But I'd argue with Solskjaer, right? He never gambled.
No.
He stuck with his ways, right? With playing that counter-attacking way, which was never going to take him to that next level. And I think what we're gonna see tonight, it feels much more like not necessarily a dictator, but he definitely believes his way more than maybe Ollie did.
Yeah, definitely.
At some point, he's going to go, this is the way we play, and where Ollie sort of stuck to his guns and he played that counter-attacking way, which kept him in a job for so long. He would get results here and there, like you remember, Ollie, right? He would go on a little bit of a bad run, but then he would get some great wins out of it.
But I think it's a bit of a middle ground between the insanity of Van Gaal and Mourinho and Solskjaer's babying of the players.
Yeah.
So Mourinho would tell Luke Shaw how fat he is on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
But you don't. There's a middle ground between those two. You can't baby them too much, but you have to. Yeah, as you saw with after the loss in the against Brentford when he went running with the players, the amount of kilometers less the team ran than the opponents.
Yeah.
It's like leading by example. I think it's if a 52-year-old man can do it, you can do it. So I think he has a clear philosophy of how he wants to play, but doesn't have a team to play that way yet.
Yeah.
But if he gets the right transfers in over the next year or two, then But
I think just speaking on that very quickly, I think Anthony is going to be coming through the door next to Man United.
Very, very.
I do think he might be the last one though.
And I think it's fine for this window. I don't think you can demand how much. I don't know how much that would bring the total spending up to, but 200 million.
Doesn't that worry you though a bit with with Anthony transfer? Like for me, it's a bit like what he did with De Jong, right? That seems to have fallen on his face. Now with Anthony, what he did was like with Martinez, persistent, ended up paying like 65 million. I think it was right for him. What worries me, right, is that he's basically saying, of all the players that he could push to buy, only these players that he's worked with in the past are the ones that they have to.
And Casemiro.
Yeah, and Casemiro, yeah,
Yeah.
Casemiro's a bit of a funny one. Like he was sort of left with no choice.
Yeah, he just
Beyond.
wanted to try something new. I think.
Yeah. Like it could, yeah, that one's a bit of a different one to be fair. But it blows my mind how he's so persistent about these players that he's worked with before.
But I think
create a bit of a rift, right? These players are going to come in, know the manager already. Like, yeah, these guys.
but I think the problem is I heard someone say something about the scouting at Old Trafford. I think the problem is there. They don't have the targets ready to go. There's no. When Arnautovic is a suggestion, right? So you just have to rely on the manager and players he knows, and then work from there to build up the scouting, because it's terrible if Arnautovic is meant to be the solution to the problem up front, but that's what's lacking, a pure striker.
It's going to take some time to get that trust with the fans.
But it helps beating Liverpool.
Every player, it does. But every player you do buy, because of the history, at least in recent years, will be a question mark about, like, is this the right signing that we need? Is this too much money? Whatever it is. And,
but better players don't want to come to a club like that. That's not playing in the Champions League. It's a big question mark with the club.
Yeah.
So you have to pay those wages that are outrageous if you're going to get them.
Yeah, but then for me, that is exactly what's the problem, though. Because let's say Casemiro, right? Okay, he might have a great year, right? Yeah. He's 31 next season.
Yeah.
He's on like 400 grand a week, whatever it is. 5-year contract.
4-year contract.
4 year, yeah. But he's going to be 35, I think, by the time
he's 30 now. Yeah. So.
So then, isn't this an example of, right? He's choosing Man United right now, quite evidently, because the money is humongous. He can't get that kind of contract at Real Madrid.
No.
And is that the kind of attitude you want people to come to Man United because they want to come to Man United? Yeah,
that's true. But I think it's as good as it gets right now. People don't want to come to Man United.
It ends up turning into sort of a place for these mercenary footballers where they earn right amount of money, they do a job for you, but then
there's a danger if you sign more. Well, Ronaldo was the first one. To be fair, it was sort of City might want him. We need to buy him, get him before they do. So Casemiro's a bit younger. On the pitch, he's a warrior has been for Real Madrid for a long time. So if he has that attitude on the pitch, then it should be fine. But he is at his best genuinely a world class player, and there's not many world class players who want to come to United. And the fee they paid for him is quite outrageous. What was it, 70 million for a 30-year-old?
Yeah, it's a lot. Not as much as Lewandowski was last.
No, but Lewandowski he's another level.
Yeah, so, but he's too old.
He is, but
it's crazy.
Yeah. I don't think we should get into Barcelona transfer policy. That could take another.
But I'm just saying, like, in the context of football today,
yeah.
Even though it's a lot, like with what else is happening, I don't think that part is so bad. I think more his wages and his contract. Worry.
Yeah.
But like that's why he's accepted. Of course, they bought Tchouaméni and they have Camavinga already. I think now they were happy to move him on, and it was more about does he want to go Man United? And I think the biggest reason why he did was because the money was so good. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like I seen him when he was there, and he was talking to Roy Keane and such, and maybe he growing up
Maybe I idolized Roy Keane, and if it did, then it's a good sign.
Yeah.
I would be worried for Holland's knees though if he does. The derby would be intense. Even Roy Keane was complimentary on United's performance last time.
It was much better though.
It was. Yeah, I can't deny that. Yeah.
So now we're on to the top four, and I'm happy to see that Arsenal are still in there. We're moving.
Yeah. I think it's a one horse race in my view.
Yeah, we probably could do that next because it's the least shocking of all of them. Man City.
Yeah. They dropped 2 points now, but that won't happen a lot, I think.
Well, the question is, right, it's not even who do you think will win the league. Can any other team in the league achieve more than 90 points this season?
I don't
90
Well,
points on a normal season before Man City, right?
yeah, that was
Was an amazing season.
yeah, that
And I
was
don't think there's any team in the league, including Liverpool, right,
no,
that can achieve 90 points this season.
yeah.
I think only Man City have the chance to do it, and I think that's what you need to win the league this season. It's at least 90 points, which
Yeah.
is lower than normal, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a bit more of a interesting race. I think the top four will be much closer together rather than previous seasons where first and second were so far off everyone else. I do think that you see the top four much closer
I
on
think
points.
you'll see the second, third, and fourth much closer, but I don't think
Yeah.
they will. I think City will run away with it. Liverpool losing Mane is a
Big, yeah.
big blow. Did you see his Twitter post about he congratulated the best German manager, Nagelsmann, after he scored?
No, I didn't see that.
They almost suck for Klopp. But yeah, I think they haven't looked impressive so far. They have a lot of injuries, which is fair enough, but not that much depth.
No.
Aging players and
the bench was
Henderson,
weak.
yeah,
The bench
And-
was weak
yeah.
against United.
and also quite a lot of aging players.
Yeah.
So I don't think Van Dijk hasn't looked as good as he
No.
was. They'll finish top four, but
I reckon they'll finish fourth,
yeah, I think it's
but maybe third.
it's so tight between the teams
Yeah.
behind City. So I have a hard time picking one of them.
I'm just gonna say right now, right? I have Arsenal finishing second.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah,
Like
no surprise there.
This is why I'm saying I reckon Liverpool will be third or fourth, because I think it is between Tottenham or Liverpool. This is my opinion, just from what I've seen so
of course.
far. I think everyone's been raving about Tottenham, but I do think that like it's not going to be going all smoothly as everyone thinks. I think that seeing that Chelsea performance, and even seeing their last performance, right, where it was scraped a 1-0 win with Kane scoring like the 80th minute or something like that.
Yeah, but winning those matches is a good thing though as well. Winning those those ones where you are frustrated, and
but they're not. Yeah, but they'll get top four comfortably.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they will push on more than that.
So the thing with I don't want I'm impressed by Arsenal so far, but the fixtures have been quite easy.
No,
Let's be honest.
You said Palace away.
Comparatively,
Palace should have beat Liverpool when they went away.
That's one of three.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's the
Leicester. I know you haven't almost.
Yeah.
But they still have decent players in their side. They haven't lost those
do,
players yet. I think right now we could be after 6 games, we could have 6 wins with our fixture list, and of course then it could go the other way, right? We could have that run where it's not as good, but that's a really strong.
No, you lose. You lose the 6th one though, so it doesn't matter.
Right?
Yeah. It doesn't matter, but you should be. Yeah, you should win the 5 first ones. I'm
gonna put in here, right? Both all of these teams.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have.
I'm
gonna have Arsenal third then.
Yeah.
Oh, but you can't say Tottenham. You think Tottenham gonna finish with Arsenal?
No, I said it's so close that I'm fine with Arsenal second because I can't separate those 3 teams. I honestly can't, because when Liverpool get their injured players back, there'll be a whole other thing.
Okay, let's talk about. I think Liverpool are going to have an off season like they've had before.
Yeah, but does that mean they don't finish second?
No, I think that means that they. Yeah, I think like when they had the off season before, they finished 4th and they scraped 4th.
Yeah.
And I think we're in for another season like that. And now it's the 7th. I know it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's the 7th season for Klopp.
Yeah.
And historically, that's when it started to go downhill for his previous clubs.
Yeah.
Now looking at. So remember when Klopp left Dortmund as well? They were in like relegation.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
After having an amazing season, so you never know what's going to happen there. It could be that they. I don't think they drop down more than that though. They have too much of a good squad with Van Dijk, Salah. I would even put Fabinho in there, Alisson.
Yeah.
So they won't drop down more than that as long as they don't get any huge injuries. But I think when you compare, let's say, Tottenham and Arsenal, because I think this is the argument. Which one finishes above which one? I know Tottenham have done good business as well. With Perisic will have a good season. I don't think it's going to get much more than that. Basuma could be quite good in the middle of the park. I do see that he's not starting almost every game because they're playing Royberg still.
Yeah.
So they've got Richarlison coming off the bench, so they've got a bit more depth to their squad.
Yeah, they do.
Still have Davies, still have Dyer, still have Bentancur. Right. Okay, their front three, Kane, Son is good. Kulusevski, yeah, okay.
I like Kulusevski.
He's had a decent start, right?
I like
We'll see
Kulusevski.
how this turns out. Last few games, he's not looked good.
You have Rob Holding though.
Yeah, but he's our fourth choice centre back.
Yeah, but you still have Rob Holding.
Yeah, but this season we have William Saliba.
You do, yeah. He's been good. He's been good.
I think he will be young player this season. I'm calling it now. He's been phenomenal.
Yeah,
like,
he's been really good.
For 21.
21.
6'4". He catches any striker in the league. He's so quick, right? And I think he's the perfect player. Our defensive, like if you look at our defensive line now, Arsenal have always been looked at as quite a frail team, small, weak.
Yeah.
Now you go like, okay, we could play Ben White right back, 6'1". William Saliba right centre back, 6'4". Gabriel left centre back, 6'3". And then we have, let's say, Tierney or Zinchenko on left back. Then you have Xhaka and Partey, strong midfielders.
Yeah.
And Arsenal suddenly becoming a much bigger team.
Well, let's see if Partey plays the rest of the season. Let's see.
I think
you can't say what he's done. It's not legal to say what he's done.
No. But I think he will. Seeing how everything's turned out and what's been put out by the club and even in the documentary, I think if there was any suspicion that, something could happen, then I don't think it would be Arsenal would be risking to put stuff out. But like this is the same thing happened right last season with Brighton and Basuma.
Yeah.
Exact same thing. He played all season.
Yeah.
Nothing came of it. And I'm not saying, of course, he's done something wrong or he hasn't done something wrong, right? But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
I like if that happens, right? We still have the best Egyptian player in the league. Anyone that needs to come on play that role.
Yeah,
and it changes things. No, definitely. I think it's one of the hardest roles in world football is that number 6 position.
Yeah, it is.
And I've been thinking to myself, like, who do we bring in that at least have some competition for him? So let's say worst comes to worst, let's say he gets an injury. No
you
chance.
can get McTominay.
I think Tielemans could be one.
Fred.
No way, no. I'm not going near your player. I think that could be one. But as of right now, right, it's not happened. So let's say that doesn't happen. And you look at what Jesus has been doing so far.
Yeah.
Like he's been
even Odegaard's been scoring.
Odegaard is
he actually took the ball from Jesus and scored. I was so surprised he would do that. I was sure he was going to jump away.
Yeah, I think he will go to the next level as well with Jesus' movement.
Yeah, Real Madrid's next level for him.
Yeah,
he'll go back to Real Madrid. That's the next level.
No.
Yeah.
now he's going to be taking Arsenal to then, and also I need to give a shout from Granit Xhaka has been phenomenal now for the past, I want to say 6 months.
Yeah.
Try and find a bad game. He's
solid. He's solid.
Yeah, he's been really solid for us as well. Like, and he's basically the real captain of the team. Even Odegaard's captain, the vocal captain is Xhaka.
Yeah.
He just
you can't stop Xhaka from yelling at his teammates.
Yeah. So anyway, I do think we expect a big season from Arsenal. Martinelli's looking good as well. Like, we've got so many good players, young players coming through. We're talking about Pedro Neto now as well, potentially coming in, bolstering the squad, and potentially Tielemans. If we get those two in right, you have to put Arsenal second.
No, I don't have to, but I think it's so close that and it doesn't really matter if you finish second, third, or fourth in the context. You will get Champions League next year, which is the most important thing.
I'd be happy with fourth.
Yeah.
I'd be
back into the Champions
right
League.
now. If you ask me what we finish on, you said fourth, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
We can catch Tottenham, and that's what I would like us to do. They've finished with us quite a few seasons in a row now.
Yeah, it hasn't been the same.
Point now.
Hasn't been the same Totteringham's. What is it called? St. Totteringham's Day. For a while now.
It's been a long time, and I would like that now for us to pass them. It could be that means we finish third, they finish fourth, or maybe they drop out the top four. Man United or Chelsea push on, surprisingly.
I
do want to see that, and I think that needs to happen. And I do think Conte then leaves. I don't think you see Conte staying at Tottenham, battling for fourth place. I think he went there to try and really do a job, and I think if we start seeing this is mission impossible, which it is.
Yeah.
He will leave.
Yeah. It is. They won't get close to the City
Unless
for
they win
sure.
a cup, right? But if
Yeah.
they win a cup, I think he leaves after that.
Yeah, Harry Kane's player manager by the end of next season.
I imagine.
Yeah, they need to keep giving him bigger contracts. Might
Yeah.
as well run the team. It's the only thing left for him. But yeah, I think, as I said, second, third, fourth, very close. City will win it by 10 plus points, I think.
Yeah, we should mention the City a little bit, of course. De
Yeah.
Bruyne has been firing. Haaland,
Yeah.
I have question marks about Haaland, to be honest. I know everyone's
I
saying
don't-
that he's going to be the
I
greatest
don't-
goal scorer in
Ah,
Premier
he's
League
fantastic.
history.
I hate that
However-
he plays for City. He's so good.
Yeah. However, I do think that he's going to take some time to adapt. Like this season, I think will be a season that's going to adapt. I don't reckon he scores 20 plus goals. People have been saying he's going to score more. I don't think he scores 20 plus goals in the Premier League.
No, but the thing
I
is,
think he gets less than 20, right? And then you're going to get the rest of the team maybe helping him with the.
yeah, the thing is why I think he will struggle a little bit is because of how low the teams defend against City. There's no space behind defenses, and even when they're leading, teams don't take any risks.
Yeah.
And that will make it difficult. But if he gets space, he'll score. But when he at home, City at home against the bottom teams, he will not get much space.
Oh yeah, exactly. But then also I saw when Newcastle were in front, he actually did a few times take the ball and sort of make a couple of chances himself.
Yeah.
And that's what I wasn't sure he was able to do, to be honest.
No, I think he is quite technical, despite his size and speed. But of course, his speed is the biggest thing. Since he has De Bruyne behind him, and if he gets space with De Bruyne behind him, he can pinpoint the pass from anywhere.
One interesting one though is that now Man City don't have Zinchenko.
No, they don't.
And they're having to play Cancelo left back, which they did all last season and the season before. However, if you see Walker go out and you have to play Cancelo right back, or let's say Cancelo goes out and you're playing Walker right back, and then you have to play one of your young left backs,
Yeah.
that changes the team a little bit for them because they've got all phenomenal players that can do that job. But you have one weak link in that team that can't play that way. It opens up a lot of holes.
Yeah, they don't have the biggest depth on
They'll probably play
certain
Ake
positions. Yeah,
They'll
they
probably
probably
play
do.
Ake
Yeah.
there. So that's just the one small thing, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, and they signed who was it?
That's it.
Sergio Gomez.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about him to say much, but he's a Barcelona kid, so
yeah.
should fit in with Pep. But yeah, surprising how little they've spent. Really, it's not. I think they're net profit this transfer window. I think, which is strange for City.
I know it is. It's interesting. Maybe the FFP is actually becoming a real thing now. As soon as Arsenal
Yeah,
spend
and
any
maybe
money.
they don't need. They got Holland for cheap, compared to what he's worth.
But I know we're going to divert back to Arsenal, but do you see that the Arsenal on the FFP watch list now?
No, I didn't see that.
What's all this about? Like, Arsenal spend money. Everyone spent hundreds of millions of time. Arsenal spent some money, and then we're on the watch list. And maybe it's because I know there was talks about
We have spent this
bring
year.
it back now. Yeah. But there was talks about they're going to bring financial fair play back now, and I think it could be that Man City know they have more eyes on them, so this is a way of cooling things down.
Well, they've actually sold players they don't need for good money. So they'd only swapping Jesus for Holland only cost them 10 million or something like that.
But yeah, you could probably say you could probably argue that swap is not going to hurt them too much. Jesus and Haaland. I think losing Sterling is going to be a loss.
I think so too. Yeah, but I think he wanted something.
He was
else.
unhappy though. Yeah. He was unhappy.
He wants to start every game. Yeah, it's going to be tough for City, but I think this will walk the league unless something dramatic happens. And
yeah.
But you never know. It's a very high quality league, so you can. But that's the thing. I think City will beat most teams, whereas Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool will draw points against each other throughout the season.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference in that.
Good stuff. We'll review these predictions at the end of the season as well, and we'll see how we did.
Yeah, I think we'll get everyone spot on.
No, I'd
be surprised if not.
I do think that the relegation teams that we put in there, honestly, we could get them all wrong.
Oh yeah, we could. We
So
could.
that one, even though we mentioned like Bournemouth,
Yeah.
like, they could like with the teams that are like close to them at the bottom, right? It wouldn't surprise you if Fulham suddenly just had a terrible run as
No,
well,
no, of
also, and
course,
then
of
they went
course.
down, and
That's the thing. It's so close.
Yeah.
Between being a fighting against relegation and being a mid-table team. So yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a long season, the longest one. With the World Cup as
yeah,
well.
that's another part to play as well. We didn't really consider that too much, but teams without those international players, they can be really affected.
Yeah, but there are probably Bournemouth then. I don't know how many.
No.
Yeah, most teams have quite a few that will go to the World Cup. I think so.
Yeah.
Shouldn't make too much of a difference, but yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be strange with the World Cup and during Christmas. It's gonna.
Yeah.
But well, it is what it is. Hopefully, only one time.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay then. I think we're done for today, right?
Yep.
Alright guys.
I think so.
We'll see you next time with another video.
See you next time. Bye.